You're listening to the Co-Creator Network. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Hey everybody, this is Chantel Upson, your host for Your Magnificent Journey Awaits You. I am really excited to be on the air tonight. It is Tuesday, March 26, 2013, and I mean, can you smell it? Can you taste it? Can you see it? Spring, I think spring is finally here. I saw a lot of sunshine today, and I thought, yes, I think it's finally here. So we can definitely celebrate. Lots and lots to celebrate. And so I want you to kind of celebrate in this excitement and this new energy with me. And I encourage you to call in tonight. The number for you to call to get your very own free spiritual reading is 512-772-1938. And so once I talk a little bit about myself and the services that I have to offer, and I'm going to say a little bit about my sponsors, and then I'll open up the phone lines. And so feel free to call in right now if you want, but you've got the full hour to call in, so I encourage you to do that, 512-772-1938. All right, so about me, I am a spiritual seer. I have had the gift of being able to see visions and offer spiritual readings to people since I was 17 years old, so it's been about 14 years now that I've had this gift. I've come a long way, and I've studied with a pretty amazing person, Sheila Applegate. She's just published a book, and she's an incredible person. I don't know if you've heard of her, but if you haven't heard of her, then definitely look her up. So I actually offer full hour sessions to people. I offer spiritual mentoring sessions. I offer life coaching. I offer sort of this intuitive counseling sessions, as well as just your regular spiritual readings. And I also am a Reiki Master Healer, and I'm also a teacher, so I offer Reiki classes. So for more information about my services and how to get in touch with me, please visit my website, and that is chantelupson.com. Again, chantelupson.com. That's spelled ChantelUpson. Great. So now that I've, shameless plugged myself, that's the word for it, I also want to give a little shout out to my sponsor, and that's Chantel Improvement Systems. Chantel Improvement Systems is an organizational training and consulting firm. They offer organizational planning, training programs, assessment and coaching tools, leadership management and supervision. Quoted here from a very happy customer: when Chantel presents, more people attend their programs. Chantel knows their stuff and has a professional and personal style. So for more information about their website and what they have to offer, feel free to visit CortelImprovement.com. Again, that's CORTEL improvement.com. All right. So how was everybody feeling today with that sort of turbulent energy? I mean, we're definitely spinning. It's felt a little bit dizzy today, and I actually checked the calendar because I thought, well, maybe it's a full moon. Well, no, it's a full moon tomorrow. So I knew that it was, and Spirit was definitely sending the message that it was something beyond it just being sort of that full moon, sort of weird energy that sometimes we get when there is a full moon, when people are feeling more emotional and sort of emotions are higher, the emotions of wanting to sort of feel sad and cry and feel frustrated and feel antsy and angry. And, I feel like those emotions come up a lot when there's a full moon, but today, wow, I was definitely in the presence of it. A lot of the people that I was in contact with today, a lot of clients were extremely frustrated, and there really was sort of a little bit of a heaviness in the air. But then as things sort of changed, I noticed that the sun came out, and really, so the mood from the morning was very different from the mood from the afternoon. And so I really did notice a shift. And, this just goes to show that the energies that we're in for 2013 can change that quickly. It can happen that fast. It can really happen that, it used to be sort of in years past even, we would, we'd go through several days of feeling a certain way. And now it really seems more as though we're feeling one way in the morning and feeling something completely different in the afternoon or in the evening. So that's really just to give you some hope that just because you're feeling a certain way in one part of the day doesn't mean you're going to feel that same way towards the end of the day. Because the energies are just spinning around. So great. Well, I don't know if I have a caller yet, but feel free to call in. I welcome you to call in for a free spiritual reading. The number to call is 512-772-1938. And I welcome you calling in. And last week we had so many people, and it was just so exciting. And I just want to continue sort of that momentum of having everybody call in. So feel free to let your friends and family members know as well that I offer this, especially people that are kind of on the fence and they've never had a reading before and they're not really sure about it. This is a great way to introduce them to what a reading is, what it entails. It's done in a very loving way. The information is for your highest good. You're never going to receive, even if you're asking, you're never going to receive bad news or something that's going to be harmful for you. It's actually quite lovely. So anyway, and it helps you to sort of manifest things a lot quicker into your life when you get a reading. At least that's what I see from myself when I get readings from other spiritual seers, and also when I get feedback from people who receive readings from me. They say, oh my gosh, everything's happened so much faster since I talked to you. Wow, everything came to fruition since I talked to you. So that's great. So if you're waiting for something and you're on the brink of something changing and shifting in your life, then feel free to call in. So my first caller is Victoria. Hi, Victoria. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Do you have a specific question, or are you just... Sorry?
Yes. Yep, I have a specific question.
Okay, what's your question?
Will Miguel and I be in a relationship again?
Oh, will you be in a relationship again?
Yes, with him.
Okay. So with a specific man?
Yes, with Miguel.
Okay. Yeah, so with Miguel, he is, I keep seeing that sort of the two of you are going in different directions at this point. And what's happened is it feels like it's a straight line, like he's walking to the right and you're walking to the left, or he's walking east and you're walking west, and it feels like a straight line. Like imagine the two of you are on the same road and he's going straight in one direction and you're going straight in another direction, and it doesn't feel at all in that moment like it's ever going to loop around again. And they're saying that it's almost like you're seeing sort of this straight path, but really the opportunity to circle around again and be in a relationship again is very possible for you. Because at first I saw a vision of you sort of walking towards him and perhaps even running towards him, maybe even chasing after him. And it was almost like he decided he was going to run even further away from you. Like it was almost too much for him to be able to sort of have you be running after him that quickly, or the energy that you were putting towards trying to get back together was too much for him. And they're saying that he is ready to reflect and have sort of some time apart. And then in order for the two of you to define who you really are as separate individuals. And then once you have that time to reflect, that is really when the two of you will have the opportunity to be guided back together again. So that path is going to kind of loop around, and the two of you will sort of have almost, it will feel like, I really have to say, it feels like a romantic comedy. It's almost like there's a chance meeting, and almost as though you run into each other, which is a very different energy, Victoria, than you chasing after him. Does that make sense?
Yes. So do you have any specifics, like, do you know for sure whether we will be together, when it will be?
Well, they were, it's odd, because it's like, it's honestly however long it takes for the two of you to feel happy and fulfilled, separate from one another. So, those women that are like very, they feel very independent, and they love their life, and they say like, oh, having a man, like, that would just add value to my life. I don't need a man. I just want someone that's going to, to, again, add value, and to, sort of, so it's not sort of like this, I'm a half of a person and he's a half of a person, and we're going to come together and that's going to make a whole person. It's really that vibration of you're coming together to be equal partners, as one whole person, another whole person coming together. Do the two of you have children together?
No.
You don't? Okay. Victoria, how old are you?
19.
You're 19, okay. Yeah, because I definitely, I don't know, they're really saying, give it some time, give yourself an opportunity to meet other people and experience interactions with other people, even other men. They're saying, go out for tea or coffee with someone, or exist, sort of separate from you and Miguel. And have you been able to do that at all, or are you still quite fixated on the two of you getting back together?
I've been seeing other people, but I'm focused on him, really. Could you tell me how he feels about me, what his emotions are toward me right now?
The thoughts about you filter in and out of his mind fairly frequently throughout the day. So you are on his mind. He does think about you. And he's really sort of making an effort to, again, he's a mirror for you, because Spirit is showing that the two of you need to be doing this together in order to come back together as a couple, is that he's really making the effort to separate himself from you and to exist sort of in an independent way, chatting with women, things like that. I don't see him being with anyone in a serious way. That's why when the two of you have sort of your quote-unquote chance meeting, he won't be with anyone else. You won't be with anybody else.
Well, he is with someone else right now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that at all. How long have they been together?
Oh, it happened right after we broke up. We broke up because of that.
Okay.
But I really want to know more about how he feels about me. You say he's thinking about me a lot, but what are his emotions toward me?
He's still, either he's meshing between really liking you and they're saying partially loving you. Like, it's, right now it's a little bit more of a, like, he's moving away from a romantic love with you in his heart. But yeah, I mean, he still really likes you, and so.
Do you see us in a relationship again?
Well, it all depends, Victoria, because you've got free will, and he has free will, which means that none of this is really set in stone. You have to go and live a very independent life, separate from him, and that means dating other people and experiencing other things as a single woman. And if your paths do cross again in this chance meeting, it will only be after you have really separated yourself from him and even thoughts of him. You know, that doesn't mean that it's wrong for thoughts of him to come into your mind from time to time, but really allowing yourself to really cut the cord and to disconnect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Could you tell me? Oh, what?
What's that?
Oh, what did you say?
Oh, I guess I lost it. It was just about cutting the cord.
Yeah. Could you tell me, is there anything else major that you're seeing happening in my future?
Yes. I don't know. I really do see you dating somebody new. And they're really just saying be open to that, because this new man is about 1,000 times better than Miguel ever was. So they want you to, they really want you to, to really sort of put yourself back out there.
Am I going to transfer colleges?
Are you going to what?
Transfer colleges.
Oh, I did see something changing. Actually, I saw you changing something to do with your career. So would that be to switch majors?
No, switching colleges.
Just switching colleges. Okay. That's weird. I guess I just see you sort of tweaking your major. But yeah, I actually do see you changing colleges. So, yeah, and just again, follow your heart and be bold and be brave, and this you're playing it safe a lot, and they really want you to sort of just like step right out into your power and be bold, be brave.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll know if you decide to change schools. I mean, I do see you changing schools, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen, because again, you've got your free will. You can decide at any time, because it is your life. Nothing really is ever completely set in stone. And but again, if you're looking at changing schools, just go with your gut, and if it feels right, you'll know it. You really will know it. So, Victoria, I actually have another caller, so I'm going to let you go. But if you want to get a full hour session with me, then feel free to visit my website at chantelupson.com, and we can schedule a reading. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, so my next caller is Kim from Oregon. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hi, Chantel. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Wonderful. So I kind of stumbled upon this tonight, and then I had someone come to my door during the first part of the gal that you were just talking to. So I'm not really sure. Do I ask you like a specific question, or how exactly is this meant to work?
Oh, okay. Well, it can work any way that you want it to. You can either ask a specific, I know it's great. You can either ask a specific question that's on your mind, because unlike a traditional full hour reading, this is like a very condensed reading. This is maybe like 5-10 minutes at the most. And so that's why I do tend to ask people, like, do you have a specific question? Because generally in a full hour reading, every single one of your questions are going to get answered. You're going to get so much clarity. But I do want to make sure that, and sometimes spirit will just take us somewhere else, like as far like, well, you want to know about this, but we really want to tell you about this. So.
Okay, all right. Well, so I guess the thing that is mostly on my mind right now is direction to go in relationship, and also as far as maybe even physically moving. I was married for a long time, like a zillion years, and then I divorced a couple of years ago, and then I was in a relationship for about 6-7 months. So I thought that person was like the one, and then that kind of fizzled out, and I still feel some ties to him, and then there's this other person that I've had this phone and email communication with, and it's like we have this connection, and I do like online dating, and I'm just, right now I just feel sort of overwhelmed and not sure, if I just need to kind of let go of the idea of either one of these guys and just totally move on. It's hard because I feel such deep connections. It's hard for me to let go, really. And then maybe I just need to pack up and, just move somewhere different and sort of start fresh. So it's kind of basically what's on my mind. Not very specific.
This is great. No, that's okay. You don't even have to be specific. I don't even need to know names. This is good.
Okay, good. Good, okay.
So what's happened is wow, okay, so I love this because it's like direction to go and wondering about a relationship. And the thing is that those two things are not going in the same direction. Like, I am really seeing that it really does seem as though you do need to move to where no one else is. Like, and it doesn't have to be, several states away. Like, I immediately got this imagery of you moving to Washington. So it would be like, sort of like one state up, I guess. And it's really this sensation of, and they just kept saying, she doesn't need to go far. It's really a matter of if you even took an extended vacation, you could probably sort of get what you need out of it. Get it, because it's just almost this physicality of you needing to physically break away and to allow yourself to explore a new place, a fresh start. Have you already done this? Have you already moved like recently?
Not by myself. My husband and I, when our kids were babies, we moved from California to North Dakota. Big thing. And then 9 years later, we moved from North Dakota here to Oregon, but never, by myself. Well, when I went away to college, but not since then have I moved someplace on my own.
Okay, and what was your experience before with moving?
It was exciting. I always felt like it was a great adventure. I looked forward to that. Moving to North Dakota didn't turn out to be that way. It was a very hard place to live, and coming back to the Northwest, even though it was a different state, it was the similar place. It felt like coming home, and I really liked that. Yes. But I feel very tied here also. So the idea of moving, I feel some fear. I have a job that affords me a lot of flexibility and sort of a family atmosphere. So I'm afraid to let go of that. So there is some fear involved in moving, that I would be letting go of some things. And, what if what I found wasn't as good as what I'm leaving behind?
Yes. I mean, and that's what I keep seeing is sort of this emphasis on, in your words, this great adventure. And so if your current job can grant you sort of some flexibility, then maybe in a move, because again, in the spirit world, it's like, there's no really like time space differentials. So when they're saying you need to move, I'm really going to interpret it as you desperately need to go somewhere different that you haven't been, and not a permanent move, but maybe just maybe like more of a longer vacation, or maybe something that lasts even 2 weeks or something, where you can really just allow yourself to be in the car and kind of just I don't know. I don't even know if I see you going on a plane. I see you like with a dart in your hand, and
with a what in my hand?
With the dart, like, and you've got like the
dart.
map in front.
Oh.
Yeah, and you've got like the map in front of you, and you and you throw the dart, and you're like, yes, all right, I'm gonna go visit XYZ town or whatever. And so there's sort of this fun. This great adventure is really what it is that you need to sort of just to get back into sort of balancing and connecting your head and your heart together. Because it has been sort of like, this is the thing is, and I've been a victim, not a victim. I hate to use the word victim, but when it comes to internet dating, so here I go spilling my personal life, but it can feel so much like you're using your head, because you're seeing like, okay, this guy has all the qualities that I want in a husband, and oh yeah, okay, we probably will be compatible, and you're kind of like trying to match up the pieces in the puzzle, right? When you're internet dating, you're looking at people's profiles, you're getting to know people. It feels like it's from square one. And sometimes it can be easy, Kim, to lose sort of your gut instinct, your feeling, your heart connection, where you're going, wait a second, okay, yes, I know this guy is exactly like sort of like education, even sometimes down to like what the person's interests are can be very similar to what it is that you're looking for. And sometimes we can sort of just try to squeeze our pieces of the puzzle in with their pieces of the puzzle to make the puzzle fit. Yeah. But yeah, I am seeing sort of this great adventure without anybody else, like without any of the people that you've been in contact with or been dating or whatnot with. So you're kind of flying solo on this trip, on this magical journey. But you'll have just a tremendous amount of clarity, and you'll be safe. It will be, if there's any fear that's rising up in you, just remembering, Kim, that fear and excitement in the body feels exactly the same.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you'll be very safe. I do see the job, and the job is beautiful and wonderful, and it's not your time to leave there. So
okay,
but they're flexible enough, so if you needed to take a couple of weeks off and figure out when to do that, they would be extremely open to it, because you've been very faithful and very committed to the job, and so that's really good. And then you never know, maybe it's years and years and years from now that I'm seeing you actually like move somewhere. But really right now it's really looking like a sort of a longer vacation. So go have fun with that.
Okay, all right.
All right.
So
Do you have any
no
other
healing.
questions?
Well, I'm just wondering about, the guy that I've been communicating with over the phone and emailing and stuff. If you're hearing or seeing anything about a direction to go with him, whether to just to pursue that and put up with some things that are a little bit hard, or just to maybe sever that.
This is what's really funny is like, it's not funny. It's just an expression I use. I apologize. It's really that what's happened is you have been very willing throughout time to really put yourself out there and really just been very, very go with the flow. Very much in your committed way, you really have been the sort of overly flexible one in these relationships. Mm-hmm. And Spirit is guiding you to pursue him, but still keep a balance of what it is that you, how do I say this? Like those things that you must have in a relationship versus the things that maybe aren't so important versus the things that you could care less about, that kind of a thing. And
they're deal breakers for sure.
Yes, the deal breakers. And so they really want you to sort of reevaluate your deal breakers, and to add maybe a few more things to that list. Such as putting yourself first. So it's a little bit of it's not a contradiction per se, but that's why I'm saying it's funny, because they want you to put yourself first while also pursuing him.
Have you been talking to my daughter? That's exactly what she's been telling me. So that makes a lot of sense. It does.
Good. Well, maybe your daughter's intuitive as well.
We all kind of are a little. We've got that Irish, Scottish thing going on.
Nice.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Chantel.
You're welcome. And here, I'm just going to give you a quick example of this, Kim, and that is,
cool.
like if he's saying, "Oh, I'm only available on a Friday night." You're like, "Oh, I really want to see him, so I'll just drop what I'm doing and cancel my plans and then see him." So it's really, because what ends up happening is that because you're not putting your own plans first, it creates like almost like a little bit of a divide in the relationship. Because you're already sort of like sacrificing some of yourself. And so that's why that's what they mean by put yourself first, but also pursue the relationship. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Okay. I so appreciate it, and you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And Kim, if you're looking to get a longer reading, because there's certainly more, feel free to visit my website. It's chantelupson.com. And you can find my contact information on there, and you can schedule a full hour session with me.
Perfect. I'm sure I will be doing that.
Great.
Thank you very much. Okay, thanks. Good night.
Thanks, Kim. Have a great night.
Thanks.
All right. So that was Kim. And that was just I feel like that was an excellent reading. And, and this just goes to show that the more open you are, the easier the information will flow. And so if you're feeling, but you know what, if you're feeling a little bit hesitant, that's okay too. And so I just invite people to call in, and the number is 512-772-1938. There's actually nobody on the phone lines right now, so go ahead and call right now. If you're listening, I appreciate you listening, but now I want you to be an active participant in this process. So again, the number is 512-772-1938. All right. Well, nobody yet. So, but yeah, I know that last week we had a theme about, healthy eating and wellness and some things about wellness. And this week, clearly, I think there's a bit of a focus on relationships and relationships, intimate partnerships. Those relationships are really what we hold so very close to our hearts, and those are the relationships that can really consume us, and those are the ones that it can be difficult to, here we are, we think about intimate relationships and we think about people being connected, and we think about the heart, and we think about love and loving someone and in a romantic way. And what's funny is that while we are doing that, while we are attempting to sort of develop those relationships that are surrounded by this love, sometimes we forget to follow our own heart and know and trust in the process, that by following our own heart, that something really beautiful and magical is gonna happen for us. And if that is just some beautiful advice. So I'm being divinely guided by Spirit to talk to all of you about that tonight. And that is about following your heart, trusting your instincts, and, just being present with all of it, because it can be extremely exciting when perhaps a new relationship is coming into your life. It can be terrifying too, and it can be a mix of all of those things: exciting and terrifying and wonderful and crazy and all of that. And I think what happens also is that when people are dating, sometimes we are trying so hard to impress the other person that we forget to really feel out the what's going on in front of us. We forget to follow our own heart and to trust our instinct. And the truth of the matter is that if you are being yourself, that's a beautiful thing. If you're really just surrendering to the experience, and this isn't just dating, this is everything. This is every experience. When we have these experiences, it can be very challenging to try to not want to force things or not want to say what we think the other person wants to hear. And the truth of the matter is that we do have to stand in our truth. We do have to be honest with ourselves. So even if we're just meeting the person and we're not really sure that we want to, be totally honest, especially if being honest is going to hurt that person's feelings. Like, oh, I think you have issues with your mom. Like, maybe that's not a good topic to give someone on a first or second date. But really being honest with yourself is the most important thing. Putting yourself first is also extremely important. And when we are honest and when we are standing in our truth, there are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. And sometimes we forget that it can feel like rejection and it can feel like we've done something wrong. But really, you know what that is? That's someone that's just not matched for you. That's someone that's just not compatible with you. And and somebody on paper, and that's what's great about internet dating, is that on the screen, their interests and their hobbies and what they're looking for in a partner can be completely matched up with you. Can be completely, look at eHarmony. It's like one personality / chemistry / relationship test matched with another and brought together. And I'm not saying that those relationships aren't real, because they are real. There are many, many, many successful relationships that come out of internet dating. But I think it's really when people are honest with themselves, they put themselves first, they have a little fun with it. That's when, by the grace of God, these things just flow in the way that they need to. Life just, in essence, flows in the way that it needs to. And it's when we take a step back and really enjoy the process, without obsessing about it, that's when everything comes into place for us. And again, this isn't just about dating. This isn't just about relationships. You can apply this to any area of your life. Think about how many times you thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get that raise. I'm never going to get that promotion. And you were pushing for it. And then finally, when you just gave up, you surrendered, you just said, fine, I guess it's not meant to be. That's when something amazing happens. Either you get the promotion or somebody talks to you about a new job that's available. And all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, well, that's what I want to do. I don't even want this promotion. I want something different. I want this new job. I want something new for myself. So I feel like that's just trusting in the fact that there are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. This is so important to remember. To trust your instinct, even if you feel like it's a mistake. Oh, shoot, I've made a mistake. It's time to go back into the turtle shell again. I'm not going to pop my head out there again. I'm not going to put myself out there. That everything is just for us to learn from. Everything is just for us to grow from and be from and exist from. And so allowing that to happen makes life more fulfilling. It really does. It really, really, really does. And just trust in that. And the other thing is, blessing other people that you're coming into contact with. Blessing those people who, maybe you do have a date with, and maybe right away, like within the first few minutes, you can just tell, like, okay, this person isn't matched with me at all. Like, I just have such a feeling or an instinct about it. I'm trusting my heart, trusting my gut on this. And then just bless that person, and don't like grab their hand across the table and be like, I'm blessing you right now. No, that would be a little bit strange. But in your mind and in your heart, maybe say a little prayer or just talk to the universe and in your head again, not out loud. It'd be a little weird. Or even when you leave that interaction with that person and you get into your car and you say, like, I bless them on their journey. God bless them on their journey, and universe, provide them with the person that they need. I trust in this process. I trust in this. And that's what's really important too, is that so often we forget to trust in the process. We feel like we have to force it. We have to make it happen. And we don't trust. We don't. We forget as human beings how important it is to just trust and to flow with life. And you know what it's like when you have those days where you're absolutely exhausted. You get to the end of the day and it's like you can't think straight. Why? Because you were pushing against the day. You were pushing all day. And it became too much for you. Dating is the same way. Post, if you're doing internet dating, post it. Have a profile. Put some nice pictures up of yourself. Be honest. And just let it go. Trust in the process. Say, universe, I'm just putting myself out there. Guide me where you want me to go. And I'll do it. I'll go there. And, that's just the best way to do it with life. I'm putting it out there. I trust in this process. And really trust in it. And sometimes there's going to be times where you're going to have to recheck in with yourself. And you're going to have to go, oh, gosh, is this really right? Oh, well, I thought I was trusting, but no, I'm feeling really tired today because, again, I was pushing against this. I thought it was right, but I was pushing too hard. I was trying too hard. Help me not to push too hard. And then one day it's going to be easy. It's going to feel easy and be easy. And all the puzzle pieces are going to flow together. I love the example of when Kim called in a little while ago. Oh, also, hey, no callers, so feel free to call in. If you call right now, you're going to get right through 512-772-1938. So when I love the analogy that Spirit gave to Kim who called in, and how sometimes with internet dating, it can be like you've got some puzzle pieces and maybe the person that you are interested in they've got some puzzle pieces, and sometimes when you get together with that person, how often is it when you're dating that you're just trying to like mold those puzzle pieces together? And sometimes we try to force things to happen. Like, oh no, I read on his profile that he had a really great sense of humor. But when you meet him, maybe his sense of humor is very different from yours, and therefore it's not a match. And that's okay. And that's really, really okay. And maybe while you're searching on the internet and doing internet dating, maybe that's when you're going to meet the person that you want to spend a lifetime with, or you want to spend 10 years with, or 5 years with, or 30 years with. Maybe that person is walking down the street near you, and you don't even meet that person on the internet. So it's just, I don't know. I feel like sometimes as humans, like, we want to complicate things that don't complicate it. I feel so easily we get caught up in wanting to just again, complicate it, make it harder than it is. And sometimes in doing that, it destroys our chances of really being happy and really feeling fulfilled. And that's not to say don't try, but there's a difference, and we know it. There's a difference between trying and trying too hard. And there's also a difference between trying and not trying enough. We know that too. And we know those people that do that when they're like, oh, this is too hard, I'm not going to try. Well, I mean, we all get there sometimes, but really you do have to pull yourself up and get right back out there. So give yourself give yourself some praise, just allow yourself to have fun with things, and allow yourself to exist with all of this, because it can be quite challenging, but it can also be really easy, and it's all up to you what you make it. If you want to make it hard, if you want to make it like really rough and bumpy and conflicted and lots of drama, and then fine, let it be that, and that's all right too. And if you want to make it easier, then let it be easier. So, I mean, the best advice I ever got was hearing that the person for you will step up, will shine brighter than the rest, and that's really how you'll know. Feel free to call in 512-772-1938 if you want to talk about the topic that we're discussing tonight. If you want to get a reading, feel free to call in tonight. Or you can also visit my website at chantelupson.com. And from there, you can get my contact information. You can send me an email, and you can schedule your own personal reading. Because sometimes it can be a little bit weird calling in. And sometimes, I always tell people, hey, if you want to use a fake name, it's okay. Spirit knows who you are, and that's all that matters. So, well, good. So we just have about a few minutes left, and I don't know what else we can talk about with relationships. I can bring in, well, let's channel. Let's do it. I haven't channeled in a while, and this is just enough time for me to channel. So I'm going to say a prayer, and then I'll open it up here. Dear God, Goddess, Creator of all that is, Alpha, Omega, Enchanted One, Soul Ra, Isis and Ra, Magdalene and Yezu, all of the Ascended Masters and angelic hosts that are here with us today, thank you for your presence. I ask that you guide, support, and nourish everyone listening. I completely surrender now into the vibration of all that is, drawing forth those reflections that are here to guide everyone here on their journey. And now I completely surrender now into the vibration of Magdalene as she shares a message with the world tonight. Dear beloved ones, I come to you tonight talking about relationships, love, joy. exultation. It is full of excitement. This year and this moment in particular, when we come into spring, this is the moment where we are all uniting. We are holding hands and we are in a circle together, and we are bringing forth love from the center of the circle. Love in this beautiful, vibrant pink color. It is so exuberant. You can reach out and you can touch it. It is right in front of you. This excitement that extends through you, through your hearts, and down into the core of Mother Earth and back up again. This sensation where you feel supported while you are also finding a relationship, being in a relationship. This is different. This is different this time as your bodies are changing and we are becoming more energetic beings. You are feeling and seeing love extending out among you. You're feeling more love and more support from others, and as a result, you are providing more love and support from others as well, or to others. And what is amazing and exciting about this journey is that this is different. Feeling this support really even from the ground up, from the top of your head all the way down to the bottoms of your feet, and even further beyond that. Your beings are being filled with, your bodies are being filled with more and more love. And you have this love to give. And so you're ready to be in an equal partnership and live with others and exist with others. And this isn't about compatibility. This is about, do you have a connection with someone? And I'm not talking about a sexual connection. I am not talking about feeling that kind of a spark, because the spark that I am talking about is a spark from your soul and your heart, your everything, even your crown chakra. Everything is combined together, and what's happened is we're bringing it together for you, and we are giving it to you from the top of the earth to the core of the earth. It is being supported for you and given to you, so that way you are able to find and create, not even just find, but be able to create these beautiful relationships. Trusting your instincts is so important, and we must trust our instincts, following our heart. That will guide us and lead us to where we need to go. I give thanks to Magdalene and all of the beings of light that provided this channeled message. Amen. All right. So, well, that being said, that was a beautiful message. If anyone wants to call in and share their thoughts about it, I invite you to do that. We only have a few more minutes left, so I just want you to know that I'm so blessed to be able to be on the Co-Creator Network and be able to talk with all of you every single Tuesday. So, feel free to join me next Tuesday as I offer free spiritual readings again. And just so you can jot down the number, it's 512-772-1938. And, well, I guess I'm going to sign off now, but I